Hello, in this video we're going to take a look at some basics about an amortization schedule. An amortization schedule is basically a table that gives you very detailed information about a loan's balance, including how much interest and principal is paid for each period of the loan. Typically it's every month. So let's take a look at a really simple example. Let's say we have a $600,000 loan that has an annual interest rate of 3.9%, and that loan lasts for 30 years. So it's like a mortgage, a home mortgage. Here's the first few months of the amortization schedule. So we'll start with month 0, which basically means the very first day or month in which the loan is originally taken out by the person. So its balance is $600,000. The next row is for month 1, and it tells you what happens once you make the payment. So assume that this payment has already been computed using the loan payment formula, and we will pay this loan off in 30 years if we make a payment of $2,830.01. Now, for most loans where the interest rate doesn't change and the term of the loan doesn't change, that payment is going to stay pretty fixed throughout the life of the loan. So that's why you see the payments not changing from month to month. Coming back to the row corresponding to month 1, you can see here that the amortization table is telling us that in the first month, out of the $2,830.01, $1,950 was interest that we paid to the bank. And the remaining $880.01 is going to be applied to the principal. In other words, it's going to reduce the total balance of the loan by this amount, $880. If you add these two numbers up here, $1,950 and $880.01, you will get the payment amount, because the payment amount is made up of how much interest you pay to the bank plus how much you reduce the loan balance by. And then the last column tells you what the new balance will be after 1 month. So if you look at what's going on, we're starting with a $600,000 balance. We've paid off $880.01 of that balance, and that's going to leave us with a balance of $599,119.99. If we dig down into the formulas a little bit more, we see here that this interest payment right here can be computed by looking at the annual rate, which is 3.9%, divided by 12. This is called the periodic rate. It's the amount of interest, it's the rate of interest that we're paying in that 1 month. So if we take that rate of interest on a monthly basis, and then multiply that by the balance of that loan as we're making that payment, then that's going to give us the total interest paid. Let me go back real quickly here. To find this cell, $880.01, I can simply subtract the interest that I paid in that first month from the total payment amount, and then I'll get this one here. So that is how we would compute those. And if you go down to row 2, for example, and you look at how the interest is now a little bit smaller, it's now only $1,947.14. The reason that it has reduced is because you are now paying interest on a lower balance. So the new balance that you're starting with in month 2 is only $599,119.99. So you're only paying interest on this now, not the $600,000 you started with. So if I take the new balance, which is here, and I multiply by the monthly interest rate, which is the same thing as it was back up here for month 1, then I'm going to get $1,947.14. So I'm going to have a little bit less interest that I'm paying, which is good, because that means that the amount that I pay down the loan by is going to get a little bit larger than it was in the previous month. So now I'm paying off $882.87. And then I can subtract this reduction in principal from last month's balance to get the new balance for the end of month 2. And if we continue that process over and over, we're going to get each row one at a time. Now, there's going to be another video, so look for a second movie icon that will walk you through what that particular spreadsheet looks like. But let's just keep going real quickly here and just notice the last few months of this particular loan. Now I'm all the way down at the bottom of the list, so I'm at month 360. So remember, we had 30 years. 30 years times 12 months per year is 360 total loan payments. My loan payment is still constant at $2830.01. But now notice the interest that I'm paying in that very last month is very low. It's only $9.17. And almost all of that very last payment is going to reduce the principal. And also notice that the balance going into that last month is only $2,820.84. So what you see here is that this has been completely paid down. The balance from the previous month matches right here the principal that I'm paying down in the last month, which means that my new balance is 0. And so if you set up your amortization table correctly, the very last entry in the table should get you to 0 because your balance is 0 and you would have paid off the loan. Now what you have to do is imagine here for a moment that there's 360 rows. Each row represents 1 month. And you can actually then take that table of data and you can create a graph. So you can see here down on the bottom, this is months that have passed. Over here is the balance of the loan. You can see here at the very beginning, it starts at $600,000. And then over the life of the loan, as the number of months pass, you're going to reach a balance of 0. The scale here is automated, so it doesn't show up pretty nicely if you generate this with the default in the spreadsheet, but you'll end up with 0 at month 360 like we saw in the previous slide. So that's the basics. Now, what you probably want to do now is take a look at the second video, which is going to walk you through what the calculations in the spreadsheet actually look like so that you can potentially build one of these on your own.